Okay, Virgo, 12 hours. I need you to feel that number not as an abstract unit of time, as something real. 12 hours from right now, from the exact moment you are reading this, something is going to be different in a way that you will be able to point to and say, there, that is what the message was about. Welcome, and stay with me. Every word of this matters. 12 hours is not a long time. Let that land. Most messages about change speak in the language of weeks or months, or the vague and drifting soon. That could mean anything, and often does. I am not speaking that language today. I am speaking in 12 hours, which means by the time you sleep tonight or wake up tomorrow, something will have shifted. That was not shifted when you started reading this. What is coming is not gradual. It is not the slow accumulation of change over time. That eventually produces something different after you have almost stopped noticing the process. It is sudden in the specific way that certain things arrive when they have been building in the invisible long enough to be ready, and then tip into visibility all at once without warning in the form of something that changes what was into what is now. Oh, I want to describe what everything changes actually means, because everything is another word that gets overused until it loses its weight. And I do not want it to lose its weight here, because what I mean by it is specific. Everything changes means the context changes. The frame through which you understand your current situation is going to shift in a way that makes the same circumstances look fundamentally different than they looked before the shift. Not because the facts change, but because the meaning of the facts changes when the new information arrives and reorganizes everything around it. Like finding a piece of a puzzle that you had given up looking for. And suddenly the picture that you could only partially see before becomes clear, complete, in a way that makes you wonder how you did not see it before. Now that you can see it fully, that is the everything changes. The frame completing, the picture clarifying, the understanding arriving, that reorganizes everything else around what is now known that was not known before. I want to tell you what specifically is changing, because specificity is what makes this real, rather than inspirational language that feels good to hear without connecting to anything concrete. In your relational world, something is about to become clear where it has been unclear, a question that has been sitting in you unanswered or partially answered in a way that left the more important part still open, still unresolved, still requiring more information than has been available to settle into something you can actually act on. That information is arriving in the next 12 hours in the form of something said or done or revealed that answers what has been unanswered and allows the question to finally close into certainty of one kind or another. And in your practical world, your material circumstances, something is also moving, a decision being made somewhere by someone whose decision affects you, or a development occurring in something you have been invested in that produces a result in the next 12 hours that changes the practical picture in a direction that is favorable to you, in the specific way you have been needing favorable. I want to speak about the boom in the title because it is not decorative. It is describing something real about how this change arrives. Boom means sudden. Boom means you will know it when it happens, not in the ambiguous way of something that might be the thing or might not be, or that requires interpretation before you can understand whether it is what you were expecting or something else entirely. This arrives with clarity, the specific clarity of something that has enough force behind it to be unmistakable. In the moment of its arrival, before you have had time to wonder what it means, the meaning will be clear before the wondering begins. That is the boom, the unmistakable quality of something that does not require interpretation to be understood as significant. Now I want to speak about what you do in the 12 hours between now and then, because those 12 hours are not empty. They are not a waiting room. They are the final preparation time, and what you do in them affects how you receive what is coming. The first thing, stay in your body, not in your head, in your body, in the physical presence of this moment, and the next, and the one after that, rather than in the anticipation of what is 12 hours away, which will pull you out of the present and into a version of the future that you are constructing in your imagination. Rather than living in real time, be present for every hour of the 12, because the boom arrives. When it arrives, and the version of you that is most ready to receive it is the version that is fully here rather than already there, in anticipation, waiting for something that has not happened yet. The second thing, clear any unfinished business from your mind, any preoccupation, any lingering concern or anxiety that is consuming attention, that you could redirect toward the present moment and the receiving of what is about to arrive. Not because the concerns are not valid, but because the next 12 hours require your full presence, and full presence is only possible when the mind is not simultaneously occupied with the carrying forward of things that could be set down, even temporarily, to make room for what is forming. Set down what you can for the next 12 hours and pick it up after. If it still needs carrying, then which some things will and some things will not, because what arrives in the next 12 hours may resolve some of what was preoccupying you without you having to continue carrying it manually. And the third thing, trust the timing. I know that 12 hours sounds specific, And specific always invites the particular anxiety of what if it does not arrive exactly on schedule? What if 12 becomes 13 or 15 or tomorrow rather than today? The 12 hours is the energy of the thing, not a guarantee of the clock time. It means imminent. It means closer than you think. It means the thing that is coming is so close to arriving that the energy of it is already present in how the next few hours feel. If you are paying attention, there is a quality to the air right now around what is forming that tells you something is about to tip into the visible world from wherever it has been forming in the invisible. Trust that quality rather than the clock. And what arrives will arrive in the time it needs, which is very close to now. Whew. I want to close by saying something about what the everything changes actually feels like when it is happening from the inside, because I want you to recognize it in real time rather than only in retrospect. It feels like something clicking into place, a very specific click, like when a key finds its lock and turns and the door opens into something that was always on the other side. But that required the right key at the right moment to become accessible. That click is coming. In the next 12 hours, you will feel it before you understand it, and then you will understand it, and then you will know. This was what the message was about. 12 hours, boom. Everything changes. Stay present. Stay open. Stay in your body. The key is already turning.